Yesterday I slept with an earbud in, completely on accident,
Mm.
and it fell out, and I got to work, and I only had one earbud. I was like, what the freak? I must have not putting it back in its case before I went to sleep. So I came home, and then I just had a freaking earbud under my pillow.
Guys,
6
look at
minutes.
this echo. What? Test. Echo. Echo.
can hear
Echo. I wonder if
It's not just going to magically change by you keeping
Shut
saying it.
up. I'm about to mute you all and try it.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the podcast, episode number 30. We
30.
are middle-aged, pretty much.
Interesting.
Or is middle-aged like 50?
You know, you're really giving away like our ability to like celebrate when we actually hit like a year because you keep comparing weeks to years. Like you're like, wow, we're 20 something. It's like, no, we're not. It's just weeks.
Episodes. No, you go.
Episodes.
Exactly. You go.
I know, but an
episodes.
episode isn't the same as a year, man.
No, podcasts go episodes.
I know, but it's not the same as a year.
Yeah, it's not.
You're
but that's what
equating
you
it to
do.
years. You're gonna.
No, I'm equating it to other podcasts.
No, you're equating it.
No,
You're like
no.
30 is middle age. That's not. It's 30 weeks. 30 weeks is not even.
I mean, 30 is a
I
lot
just
of
feel
weeks.
like we're gonna hit a year and then it's gonna not feel that special if you keep calling us middle aged.
Whatever. I'm over it. So we have some stories today. Otherwise, it's going to be a pretty chillaxing episode. Nothing too
Chillaxing.
crazy. We should have some really different ones coming up here, though. Some guests that are new and
Hopefully.
also old and then together. But our first one is not necessarily a story time. It's just kind of picking up from last week's episode where we had done we all have YouTube music instead of Spotify. YouTube music
Much better than.
Wrapped is what the Spotify one's called. This is a YouTube music recap, and they give you badges.
Which they do that not just for this time of the year, but you get a badge whenever. Like me and Levi have been talking about badges for months now. But
How do
I
I
have
find said
3.
badge?
So you click your profile icon
Okay.
on the top right, and then badges. You may not have
Oh,
one.
they're there.
You have one?
I don't have any badges yet.
Oh, I see you're using your iPad.
I'm empty. Yes, of course, because I can hold it in one hand.
I have 3 badges.
I have 3 badges too.
iPad mini.
Are yours all the same guy? No, okay.
Nope.
I'll do mine first.
What do they mean?
I'll tell you.
Yeah.
I think my earliest September, October, November. I have one for each month. Do you have one for September, October, November? Levi?
I have November, October, and July.
Oh, different. So in September, I was the top 0.75% of listeners in September to John Michael Howell. You were the top
That's random.
0.57% of listeners in September 2024. And then next month, in October, you were the top 2.25% of listeners in October 2024 for Benson Boone. And then I once again was in the top
How many viewers he has?
top 0.75% of listeners in November of 2024 for John Michael Howell.
Mine is November. I was in the top 0.08. That's the lamest one. 0.08 of Graham Barman, something like that.
0.08?
Yeah, that's terrible.
That's a lot.
0.08. That's like not even a tenth.
You're the top 0.08?
Yes.
Yeah.
Dude, that's like you were 1 out of 1,000 or 1 out of 10,000.
Well, then in
Yeah, that's impressive.
November,
You listened to more than 10,000 of his viewers or whatever.
I was the top 0.75% in October of Jason Aldean.
That's kind of
That's
cool because
fair.
he's pretty
He's
big.
older. Well, but he's older. He doesn't release a ton
Fair,
of music.
okay, fair.
In July, I was the top 1% of Thomas Rhett listeners.
That one's kind of impressive. Except it's 1%, but anyway.
1% is more than 0.08.
Nope.
Nope, not
What?
that way. That's the
That's
wrong
not
way.
actually how that works. Good job, Ethan. I'm proud of you.
That's why I was confused.
He's got the math.
If it is
Oh, the
1%,
smaller would
you
be
are
the
more.
better, yeah.
The smaller is the lesser percent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you want to be in the
Yeah.
top 1% versus
If I'm in the top
10%.
1% versus if I'm in the top
Yep.
0.5%.
Yeah, or top 10%
Yeah.
versus top 1%.
That's it. That's all they are. Do those reset or how do you get those?
I don't know.
I
Well, they
think
haven't
keep
gone
them
away.
forever.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they ever go away.
That's interesting.
They give you the year and
I
the
can
month,
share
so
it.
you always know it.
Save the image.
Do they like ding and give you an achievement like in games when you get them?
No, I don't think there's really anything related to it. You're
open
just
the
that
app and
guy.
it's got a little. It shows you that.
Hmm.
You're that guy.
Continue
Yeah, I've
or
got
whatever.
none.
Ethan doesn't
that's
listen.
interesting.
Ethan isn't the top listener of anyone.
Well, we
I
did
don't. But
decide
as
that-
of the last 3 days, I have like not stopped listening to music.
really?
he's in
Yeah.
the Christmas spirit.
I was
Mm.
doing homework and playing some games and other stuff, and it's just always been playing.
Too bad December doesn't count for your rap.
I know.
I was
saw-
wondering about that. It
I mean, it
doesn't.
makes sense though because it's just Christmas music.
I saw an Instagram reel that's like, guys, you get December free to listen to whatever music you want, and then it'll go back into your Spotify Wrapped in January or something like that. That's kind of funny.
It's probably because the majority of people do just listen to Christmas music, so that'd be a pretty boring Wrapped.
Yeah,
if
well,
it just
your data
counted-
would be weird.
It would
yeah.
throw everything off. Unless you hated Christmas music, freaking Grinches and Scrooges out there. And I'll be honest, I don't love Christmas music, but I do when it's closer to actually Christmas.
Yeah,
like
I
those
was-
that are playing Christmas music before Thanksgiving, stop it.
I
You're
was
just ruining the purpose of Christmas music.
I was going on an absolute tear of Christmas music right before, like right after Thanksgiving. It might have been a little bit even before, and then I kind of stopped. I was like,
It just ruins the. If you do it too early, it ruins the Christmas feel because it's like it's supposed to be Christmas. No, because it's still freaking Thanksgiving.
Well, I just found other music to listen to,
Yeah.
and so I just haven't listened to a Christmas song in a while. I love Christmas music, but I just haven't listened to one in a while. I don't know. Maybe I'm not in the spirit.
I love certain Christmas music. There's other ones that's like annoying, but most of it's all right. So we can go with flip those on the next one. We'll finish. This one is a story time. We'll talk about an incident that happened when we were on a vacation.
I'm flipping it.
It was pretty recent, but anyways, you don't need to know details about it. If you know, you know, and if you hear it in real life, you hear it in real life. But as far as for the internet, we are driving back home, and we pull over to stop at a gas station to
And you said
get a little bit of gas.
You said
and
we
go to
were
the
on a
bathroom.
vacation. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. We're on our way home from vacation.
And on the way home, and
This echo is making me crazy.
while they're all gone, I didn't have to go, so I just stayed in the vehicle.
Go to the bathroom
Yeah.
at a gas station.
So Mom, Ben, and Levi all go in. Our dad's out there. He might have gone in, but I stayed in the vehicle in the passenger seat. And it was snowy.
I didn't realize you were still in there. I
Yeah,
didn't
it
know
was
that.
snowy-ish. It was cold though, really cold. And so while I'm sitting in there, and I don't know where Dad's at, this car
He went to the
comes
bathroom.
pulling in to the gas station. It was like off a little road, and then you pull straight into this pump that it did. And when it pulled in, I seen beside me, white gas, a white smoke, a white vapor came off the car, and I just assumed, oh, some snow fell from the top of the roof and hit the car, and it just kind of poof and flaked off and powdered off. And so I didn't think anything of it, or it had some snow on it and it just finally flew off. Whatever. Anyway, because you know when you're driving down the highway and whenever snow falls off a car, it hits and then it psh, and leaves like it drifts, like it looks like a drift of snow. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry.
His
Yeah, I
mic's
can't
on the
hear
other
you.
side of the room.
Sorry. Yeah, like when like if a snow hits it and it kind of powderizes, or if you start driving off and it starts flickering off.
Yeah, and it just floats away. So
You-
that's
you
what I
gu-
thought
you
it
guys
was.
get it. Listening at home.
That's
you
what I
get it.
thought it was. But then, very shortly after, I look over again and it does it again. And I was like, well, it's under cover now. Snow couldn't have hit it. And so I see this vapor again, and I'm like, what the heck? And so then that's when Mom and Ben and Levi start to all come back. And Mom come back first, though. She came back before you guys.
Okay.
And she goes, is that car smoking? And I'm like, what? So I turn my head around and look at it. And sure enough, there is white smoke. All I could see was white smoke coming from the hood of this car. I'm like, oh my gosh, they got something wrong. And then Mom goes,
maybe something wrong.
is that Dirk? Like, do we need to move? Because we're at a gas station by a gas pump.
Yeah, this guy pulls
And
up.
so hold on.
Sorry, go
And
ahead.
so
No,
then,
yep.
and then mom's like, I'm like, well, is it on fire? And she goes, I can't tell. And so then dad comes back up towards the front, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that car might be on fire. And he goes, they had gotten in at this point right after this, and he was out there talking to the guy, and he apparently saw that there was black smoke coming from the frontish of the car. I couldn't see that yet. I could just see it going away, and it was lighter colored, so I couldn't tell you it's dark smoke. But when there's dark smoke, there's a fire, and not just
So when
something's
there's
hot
fire,
or
there's
steam.
not us.
Yes, and so then,
Especially
like he was gonna say,
a gas tank.
yeah, who? Okay, I'll continue with the story. So then he's like, hey man, you need to go inside and get a fire extinguisher or something. That's black smoke. And he's like, no, apparently dad talked to him and he said, no, I think something's just hot.
Yeah, dad comes in and says, he thinks it's the radiator.
Yeah, but it was
Am I
dark
wrong?
smoke. If it's dark smoke, there's fire. And so then he gets in and we pull forward and we're like, wait, do we kind of want to see this? And we're like, no, this is the gas station. If
Okay.
this goes up in flames, we are in the explosive radius.
Yeah, most
And
definitely.
so we start to pull out, and as we're pulling out, I'm turned around looking at it. Levi is taking a video and picture. We probably won't post those just for the sake of it. But and as we're pulling out and I'm turning around, I just see whoosh, and flame is coming out of the side of the hoods on each end. The hood was still shut, and it is coming through the cracks, just whoosh, bellowing out. And then you see big poof of black gray smoke. And we're like, oh my gosh, this car literally, the front engine is gone. It just caught on fire. And so as we're then pulling on the road and out onto the ramp to get back on our way home, it just is bellowing. I mean, it's above the top of the car. It's just on fire. And the whole time you're just like, oh my gosh, hopefully this family lived close. Because I was just sitting there thinking, man, if that would have been our car and we were hours from home, that would have really, really sucked.
Yeah, what's crazy? Can I not hear myself?
But-
What's going on?
The craziest part about it,
Testing.
yes, it caught fire. Cars can do that. You know, it wasn't a major brand, I'm pretty sure, so I wouldn't, count on any brand or anything like that doing it. But the craziest part about it was that as they were smoking, they pull off the road onto a ramp, and they're like, "Oh, we're smoking. Let's go to a gas station."
Yeah, they had the audacity to, while having smoke come out of their engine, pull up right next to a gas, like a pump.
Yeah,
at a
and it's
gas
not like they
station.
just pulled off the road, pulled beside the. They pulled by a gas pump
They-
that we were pumping gas.
They were
from.
acting like they was gonna get gas while their car was smoking.
Yeah, and so it's like, what? So I don't know what was running through their mind. I'm sure it was kind of chaotic, but
They
just
maybe they just needed gas.
all that is 10 seconds of thought. Fire and gas. I hope everybody out there knows what happens. It lights on fire. And gas pumps, if you haven't seen it before, that's why they recommend you shut your car off. If fire gets into your gas and into the tank and into the lines of the fuel pump, it's highly flammable. It just spreads. And I seen a clip one time where this guy's gas cap caught fire, and then he had the handle in there, it was pumping.
How
and
does
then
the gas cap catch fire?
you're smoking by it, a spark somehow
okay.
sparks, like they tell you to turn it off. It sparks out of the gas tank, and so it catches on fire there for a little bit, and then it just slowly works its way, and eventually, if it gets into all the gas, it'll poof and explode with the pressure that it creates, and it'll just follow the lines down the gas station under the pumps where they get the gas and just blow up the whole gas station.
Do you think there's any way to stop? Like,
I think gas stations have precautions to where
do they have like a valve? If it's like
there's probably
fire,
different sections, yes, but it's gas. It's everywhere. The fumes catch fire. I mean, you can't.
100%.
You're just screwed. And so, if you are ever on fire or near fire, I just want you to take the 10 seconds. I understand if you're on fire, it's gonna hurt. If you're catching on fire where you don't want to be on fire, you're gonna be a little chaotic. But don't bring it near gas. It's just insane to me that you can't sit there and logically. That's
Yeah.
not the first step in your mind is, hold on, let me just pull over for the safety of everyone. Because not only are you endangering yourself more, you're endangering everybody at that gas station. Because if it catches fire and then goes down to the pumps and then blows up the tanks under,
You're not ripping on this guy.
it's just, you're
But
gone.
yeah, it wasn't very cautious of the person. The crazy thing to me, so all throughout this vacation, we did a long drive, and we were used to frequent stops. And most of the times we would stop at gas stations. We would go in and maybe grab a snack. because especially on this trip where we were trying to just get home. So we'd stopped and gotten snacks before, but this time, for whatever reason, we decided we didn't need it. Maybe it's because we were close to home or because we thought we would stop somewhere, whatever it was. And man, we are so lucky we did not decide to just hang out in the gas station and buy a snack. Because had me, Ethan, and Mother stayed in the gas station and
I was
lollygag-
never in the gas station.
Yeah.
It was just you.
Oh,
two.
sorry. Yeah, me and Levi and Mother had lollygagged in the gas station trying to pick out snacks or whatever. We would have been. Oh my gosh, we wouldn't have been able to get out of there as quick as we were able to because we all just had rushed out.
Well,
there.
not
Well,
that
first of
doesn't
all,
necessarily
The
matter.
car didn't
because
explode.
yeah,
it wouldn't have hurt
ended
us
up
at
being
all.
okay.
They
They didn't explode.
Yeah,
They
I
While we
did
were
get
there.
it
just
away.
Googled it all.
Yeah, they were able to.
You Googled?
Yeah,
Did
there
you
was
find
no
it?
news on that.
Yeah, I
and
googled
the
it a couple
location
days
at the
too.
time.
I didn't have.
They pushed it away from a pump. I'm gonna
to
guess they got a fire extinguisher, and probably got it out. The car obviously was not okay, but it did not end up blowing up. So I mean, it was okay, but
Yeah, we
still,
assume everything.
the
would have
risk
turned out good.
goes way up.
But we would have been stressing. So I'm just really glad that we were able to get safely away quickly because we decided not to buy snacks at that particular stop.
Yeah.
Which is
Anyway,
very
just a
lucky for
crazy
us.
situation. Fire and fuel. Don't ever mix them. If you don't know what it does, look it up. It's not kind. So
It's
that
not
was
hard
an
to imagine.
interesting end to the story. But and the end of our vacation. It was just
That was one way.
It
That
was
was
wild.
The crazy, that's the craziest. That's
that's
the craziest story I've ever had, especially of that. And
it was probably
of
the
that
craziest thing that happened the entire vacation.
vacation. And seriously, I'd agree.
Because how random and how ridiculous to pull by a gas station.
Yeah,
I mean, I get it.
so
Your mind's
uncommon.
probably in 1,000 different places, but it should
Well,
be
he just thought it was
instinct.
his radiator that was hot.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So
Yeah.
he probably wasn't like, "Oh, I'm gonna blow this gas station up."
Yeah, poor whoever that was.
Now we will move to our sports update, but we don't have any fantasy ones, so
But
don't
first-
worry, guys. It'll be quick.
But first, I want to cut real quick and test something. So
Oh.
we'll be just give us a second, guys.
Okay.
All right, guys, we're back. I was just losing my
Short
mind. I guess.
intermission. You probably won't even see anything but a
Yeah,
cut.
It's just a cut. You'll see. We were just testing out some audio.
Oh man.
Ooh, woman. Gotta keep it diverse.
Yep.
So our sports update, no fantasy, haven't played that because of recording schedule. Moving on to our picks though, Chiefs is that correct? We should check.
What?
Is that correct? You usually,
Oh, hold on. I think it is.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
think it's correct. Chiefs versus Texans. I'm gonna take Chiefs, obviously, and then Packers versus Saints. I'm gonna go Packers because the Saints have been selling.
Wait, I'm sorry. You were going Chiefs and Packers?
Yep.
Packers and Chiefs as well.
Oh,
I sound like I'm dying there, but I'm perfectly fine, ish.
Any insight for me, guys, or should I just follow you guys?
The
Saints
Saints are a
are
really
selling.
good football team. I'd go the Saints, Ben.
I can't help but feel like that was sarcastic.
No, I'm dead serious.
Dead serious. Best team in the NFL.
Might win the Super Bowl this year.
Calling it. Okay, I'll go Chiefs and
Have they
Packers.
won
too.
since
Thought about in
week
the
two?
freaking
Have they
after
won since-
after 3 weeks, man. They were Super Bowl favorites.
So
I think so. Maybe against like the Panthers or something.
we because of
I'll
recording
check.
schedule do not have the results of the Chiefs game that we voted on 2 weeks ago.
Correct.
But the Lions did defeat the Packers.
It was a
As
close game though.
expected.
It was 3 points.
Well, sucks for you, Ethan, because you did not get a point on that.
Yeah, I probably did pick the.
Packers.
Pick the Packers.
And you were the only one that picked the Packers, which means Levi has got the
And
win!
I almost won
Spread.
the last 2 seconds.
Now-
But whatever.
I start copying Ethan every week and take out the win.
You already have not done that, but okay.
Shoot. Well, who did you pick that I didn't?
You picked the Packers, you picked the Seahawks.
Ooh, that's a good point.
Yeah,
Might-
yeah. Last
That'll
episode.
be a good one.
Yeah,
Should be a good
one. Ooh.
And Hannah voted on that one, and Hannah got the Lions, so Hannah was correct too.
Yeah.
Hannah's now up to 3. Ethan's at 18.
The
I'm
Lions
at
are the
17, and I'm at
49ers of
14
2 years
Uh,
ago.
correct guesses of who's going to win. I have now surpassed Logan because we have not had him on in a while.
Sounds about right.
About time to bring him back.
It's about time to bring him back. He'll probably be on soon. Well, we'll see. But he'll probably be on soon.
Yeah,
I think we have a lot of
Probably.
guest episodes probably coming up,
hopefully.
hopefully.
Now moving back to another story time.
didn't
Unless
see what
Levi
happened
has
there.
any fun information
I
that he
didn't see
wants
how
to
long
throw
it
in
was.
there.
I did have a news thing.
Did you really?
New news.
New news.
The news is whatever it is.
In the
but
news, yeah. Oh, he's not letting me see. It's a secret.
There's a lot of stuff that's actually happened.
Did I already talk about the Olympics?
What?
Adding esports.
Really?
Are they
I don't know if
actually
I mentioned that
I
in the
feel like
podcast. Esports is now an
I feel like we
Olympic
talked
sport.
about that, but not on the podcast.
officially?
Yeah.
Officially.
I
For
don't
what
know
year?
what sport they're doing, but
Like what
Or
game?
game,
Well,
you mean?
it's like-
What year? What year are they starting that?
I
Like
don't
they're
know.
bringing flag football to 2020.
What year
it
is-
would be 8,
the next year, so it would be like
2020 or 2032.
Every 4
2028,
years,
I
so
think.
2028.
2028 is the next most recent upcoming
Yeah,
Olympics.
that's
Will
what
be
I'm thinking.
the
In Los Angeles, correct?
Yes, Los
Winter
Angeles with flag football.
Olympics or the Summer Olympics?
Maybe I need to.
No,
Did
it'd
we
be
just have the
the
winter. What Olympics did we just have? Every 2
What?
years they do a different one.
it'd be
Summer
2026 or the
Olympics,
other one
and then 2 years
2028.
Winter Olympics. Summer
unanimously vote for esports to be a game.
Yeah, I mean it shows it's colleges are doing it for scholarships. I know some older people have no idea or know and think it's ridiculous, but
So the question would be, what games are they going to play? That would be the big question.
that would be kind of interesting. And how?
Did you see?
I wonder if it's gonna be just like the other pro league games. It'll be like Call of Duty and
Did you see in China, Audi changed their logo from their rings to just saying Audi, all capitalized in a cool font?
why?
Because in
What?
China, so like in America, the average male that buys an Audi, average age person that buys an Audi is older, because the wealth is more, the older people have more money. Versus in China, it's like the average is like a 34-year-old or whatever. So they're trying to keep up with all the modern cars, and they don't think those little rings are very modern or something like that.
Huh.
So they made them revamped it.
Kia revamped theirs. It doesn't have a circle. It's just Kia spelled cool now.
But
I think
yeah,
it's just a more
really-
modern turn to go. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Well, everyone, there's so many logos that have been, what's it called? Simplified, I think it is.
yeah,
Like all the, like, I mean, you can just see tons of articles about
minimalist,
simplified and minimal logos.
minimalized.
I think it's typically simplified, but I want to see.
That's weird. I bet that's only like on their electric cars or something.
That's mid at best.
Um,
So that's what I thought about the Kia
audio-
logo too. I was
I
like,
don't
Kia's okay.
there's something else.
There's something.
I just had something in my
That's
brain
all I had.
that
You
came
lost
out.
it. Ethan lost it.
Just happened. I don't remember. We're gonna move on. So this summer,
Oh yeah.
I went on a sort of mini vacation to Arkansas, and if you know, you know.
As Arkansas.
Yes. Their roads are curvy, and they're
Terrible.
hilly. It sucks.
Have I heard? How's their shoulders? I feel like that was one of the ones I heard that their shoulders.
You've
Non-existent.
been there. It's terrible.
It's non-existent. No, it wasn't bad until you get into the side of the mountains with the lakes. It's terrible. I mean, it's just super bad. But
in every regard, the roads are bad. Is what we're saying. Bad shoulders, curvy roads, hilly.
I mean, the roads themselves don't necessarily. I mean, they're pretty well smooth, but they're not completely smooth because of the hills and curves. But it's just tiny and it's just scary, and it's 5 out of 10 for driving.
So did you
But
drive a
we
lot
did
of
it. Yeah.
No, that sucks.
Anyway, that's not the point of the story. That's just a fun side note. The story
drive
is,
The story is
while I was
driving.
there, I got, and we'll probably never do again, talked into cliff jumping. And for some of you, you may be like, that's so easy, whatever. It is not, and I'm not even usually afraid of heights, but it is not for the faint of heart. I was
How high were you up?
up there, but I was like, oh, yeah, I can do it. I'll go up there and see. And then when you get up there, it's crazy. I wasn't even at like a far one. I was at like a middle, well, that they would call far. It is really high. It was like,
You know how many feet?
it was like 20 feet.
That's
Okay.
extremely not high.
That's like yeah.
Now you're
That's
getting
what I was
laughed at.
thinking.
I've been on a lift that's 20 feet high.
It was probably higher
two
than 20 feet. I
basketball
just don't know exactly. No, and see, you guys are saying that. But I promise, when you get up there, it's high.
Oh, I believe
So,
it's
wait,
high.
how high
I just
does-
wouldn't think you'd
How
be
high does
afraid
our
of it.
scissor lift go?
No, I wasn't.
Like
I wasn't
30
afraid
feet
of it.
or higher.
I was
I wonder how-
afraid of the
When you guys
impact
did
to
that,
the
that's
water
so-
because you know what that's called, whatever that's called.
Do what?
I wasn't afraid of the height. I was afraid of the impact of the water.
Oh yeah, no, that would be a bit.
That's the
Well,
worst
the
part.
thing
When you
about
get up
cliff-
there, you
the-
start thinking
the thing
about it.
cliff jumping is you never know what's under the water too.
Well, no, on this one, it's like a common thing to do. Like they knew it was
I know,
clear.
but there's not like jagged rocks that you're not supposed to hit or something.
No, I mean if you're close, it is. But this was like
See,
the
that's
designated
what's
cliff
scary for
jumping
me.
spot
What if
for
I
this big lake.
slip?
It was like the designated spot for this lake that people do it all the time, and it's like 100 feet deep or something like that.
Oh, good.
Not actually, but
I was gonna say that is a deep freaking lake.
it is a deep lake. It's a big. I forget what it's called, but it's a huge lake. It's basically a ocean with crevices. But
Now,
anyway,
that's the Great Lakes.
so you get up there and you're just like, oh, you just walk to the edge and jump. But no, you like walk to the edge and you're like, dang. So I was up there for 10 minutes, probably 10 or 15 minutes, just walking around. Like, no, I'm gonna do this because I knew I was gonna go up there and I was gonna do it because I'm never gonna go. Well, I might go back, but I'm never gonna do it again. You know, I've got to. You know, I've got to do it to experience it because it's what you do. And so I'm up there and I get to the edge a couple times and you just get there and you're like, oh. And then I turned around and walked back. And I get up there again. I'm like, okay. And I see multiple people come and just do it casually. Like it's just what they did. It's what you do. It's fun once you do it. I didn't think it was very fun, but, and so finally then after like 10, 15 minutes, I walk up to the edge and I'm like, all right. And they're all talking down there. No one was paying attention. No one was telling me, oh, it's fine, blah, blah, blah. And so I just walk back. I'm looking at, there was trees and stuff, and then I just turn around and I just run. I'm like, I'm not going to stop. And so I just, and it's making me get all excited thinking about it. But I just walked up to the edge and just walked off. And the main thing they told me was just keep your arms and legs in, because otherwise you hit that water, smack, you're like welting up.
You'll have the pencil dive, right?
Yeah, you have to go straight down.
So was anyone that you were with up there, or had they all jumped?
Yeah, they've done it. The two, well,
no, but were they up there with you, or had they already? Were you by?
No,
yourself?
I went up there with them. Yeah,
but had
two
they
of
already
them.
jumped and you were alone?
Yeah.
So
they said,
you're
well,
up there
we're
all
gonna
by
jump.
yourself. Your whole company's all already down there.
Yeah, the two that came up already jumped because, like I said, this is a casual thing for them to do. So they've done it. I think they did it twice, but anyway, they've done it a couple times, and I'm just sitting up there.
Ethan Stillward,
and they're like,
they've done it twice, and
yeah,
you're still up there worrying about it.
Yeah, and so
is it free to do? You can just go.
Yeah, it's out.
Well,
I
didn't know if they like charged admissions.
I mean, they bought a house on the lake.
Well, that'll do it. That'll give you. That's
so yeah, you get access to nature's creation on the lake. And it's just like rocks that people said, oh, we can climb here and here and here to get up to here, and you can jump here, or you can go up higher and jump here. I mean, it's just like people find it.
Right. It's just like a well-known area for
and
jumping.
So then finally I jump off, and I remember I flailed my arms for a little bit because it just like takes the breath out of you when you first jump. You're like, oh, I'm falling. Because, we're not used to falling. I'm usually on the ground. And so then, like, just before I hit the water, I was like, oh, shoot. And I tried to close in my arms and legs. And I just remember, like, a back part of my arm hit a little bit, and it wasn't really sore at all. I wasn't high enough to gain a ton of velocity. Yeah. And then my butt hurt a little bit after it because I probably bent my knees in a little bit. But, oh, the falling sensation. It's not even the heights that was scaring me. Like I said, it was the water. And then when you hit that weightless, it just takes your breath out of you. It's crazy. It's a feeling that, you can't get unless you're falling. And it was...
Or in space.
Yeah, or probably in space. But it literally just, I at least had to work, and I'm not afraid of heights. I just had to work up to I'm going to fall. And so I just kept saying the whole time, no, I'm going to do it. And so 10 minutes, 15 minutes later, I finally did. And none of them really saw me jump. They just kind of were gazing, and then a thing fell from there,
Ethan's
and it was
back.
and then
finally decided
I went down, and you sink, and you just so far into the water, and you have to swim your way up, and that's part of the scary part too, because it's like if you get all the wind knocked out of you, you're going so far to the ground, you have to then be able to give enough to swim back up, and I got some in my nose, but I just did as fast as I could. I didn't hold my nose because I don't usually, just held my breath and
belly flopped.
They say, yeah, if you do this and hold your nose, then you won't get as much up your nose. And I had water that shot in my ear, obviously, because you hit it so fast. I would recommend people doing it at least once just to get the feeling and to have the story to talk about. But I didn't enjoy it enough to be like, oh, I want to do that again, or oh, I want to do that from higher.
It sounds like you're not much of an adrenaline junkie.
It's not. It's not even adrenaline.
Well, I think you psyched yourself out of all the adrenaline.
the adrenaline was gone.
No,
After the
they do it
first
for
7
fun.
minutes.
after the first 7 minutes of pacing around, you had no more adrenaline left.
I didn't have anything going up there because it was like you go up and you're like, oh, this is diving board. Oh, this
I just
is
think you don't.
a tall
You
diving
must not
board.
have the adrenaline.
And then
but,
it's like, oh, this one's
people
a
do that do it.
insanely tall diving board. It was probably more than 20 feet because they had so many different levels. They had like 40 feet.
Are you running
something.
off a board or are you running straight off rocks?
No, straight off rocks.
Ooh.
And so you have to get far enough to not hit the rocks, and
Where
you
the
have
head
to
is, yeah.
straight enough and not. You can't flail any, otherwise you smack. And it's
Like a
a
belly
serious
flop.
deal that if you don't take seriously, can seriously hurt you. Somebody had fallen off of it once and killed themselves.
I think Hannah has a story where she did that once.
Yeah, and
someone
she hit
cut up her
something.
arm.
Yeah,
Well,
or
she
someone
did.
did. Yeah.
Cut
It's
their
a.
arm
I
really
mean,
bad.
and that's all the things that run through my. Oh, what if I don't do this? Because
That's what would.
there's
scare
so many
me.
things that
What if
could
you
go wrong.
Smoke a fish on your foot.
Yeah. What if I kill a fish?
There's just so many things that could go wrong. It's like
What if
I just
take
had to
a bite
psych myself into, okay, this is how I'm gonna do it. I'd walk up there and then you just forget it once you jump. You're like, and then you just have to pencil it. So it was just crazy. It was a
Yeah.
crazy experience. If you're afraid of heights, you'll probably pass out. So I wouldn't recommend doing it.
Then you're just going splat in the concrete water.
I'm definitely
Yeah,
never doing
and if
it.
you slip and you hit your head, I mean, you're gone. I mean, there's again so many things that could
Way
go
to
wrong.
encourage. Yeah, if you mess up, game over.
I mean, you have to, at least in my mind, you have to know those things
I
in
know,
order
yeah,
to
you
not
gotta,
mess
yeah.
up.
You're making.
Because if you're just willy-nilly in it, then, well,
I'd recommend it to anyone, but if you do anything wrong, you're dead.
I think it was cool, but you could die.
yeah, you could. And it's
Which is all great
Happened.
It's all great things in life are like that.
Even
that's
driving.
debatable.
Even
You
driving.
could die.
Levi, do you think you'd ever cliff jump?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't think I could.
That
do it.
dude, I said the same thing. I was like, yeah, I'll do it. And then you get up there and it's like, dang,
Realistically,
now I gotta do it.
I'm both afraid of heights and afraid of what's under the water, so I really think I probably wouldn't. But I don't think I'd have an issue with the diving part like you seem to. I don't know, but I don't know that the heights could all just play into it because like, have you ever done diving boards at like swimming pools?
Oh yeah, you can cannonball and not hurt yourself. This is you're falling so fast enough.
Sure, I
If you
guess.
don't hit the water just right, you're gonna hurt yourself for weeks, at a minimum.
That's fair. I guess yeah, that's fair. I don't feel like I got the fear of falling, but I don't know. But I probably wouldn't even be able to get close enough to the ledge.
They
to-
said that I did a height that for somebody that does it a lot is easy, but for people that don't do it a lot is scary. And
Well, I'm sure that's
it doesn't
the most
happen much.
complicated things.
no, because I'm saying there's different heights that they have jumped before. There's
Was it the lowest height?
no, it was
Ethan said, "Screw that." I'm not
no,
doing
yeah,
that.
because why would I go and do the lowest height and then
No, why would I start easy? I want to go full in.
yeah.
And then sit there for 15 minutes.
Yeah, and
I
then
bet if you did the
complete-
first
complete
one,
it.
it would have been a lot easier.
Yeah, why didn't you? If it were me and I was like, I'm scared of this one, I'm gonna go do the littler one.
No, because then you're
"Oh, yeah."
chickening out. I wasn't gonna
No, then
chicken
you go
out.
do the bigger
Yeah,
one.
then
same
you're,
concept.
okay, I got this now. I can do the bigger one.
Maybe, but
But that didn't.
And then you do the
Ethan-
tallest one
Ethan
because
just
now
said,
you've
I'm
made
going
up the
straight
steps.
for the hard one. Knocking this.
well,
one.
it wasn't like I said. It
First
wasn't
time,
a hard one for
Here
the
we go.
people that do it a lot, but it wasn't a scary one for people that do it a lot. It was just like right in between. It was like I gotta do this one, but
That's one way to do it.
that was fun. I mean,
But
I
you wouldn't do it
rather would just swim or jump off a diving board,
or just
but
not jump.
just
on,
swim.
Just jump in the water
Yeah.
from the side of the.
Average 5 foot, not.
Just walk into the water.
Everyone
else.
it was exciting, I guess.
Well, then look at that. You did have some adrenaline. Yeah, I'm not much of an adrenaline junkie.
Yeah,
so
it was
doing-
exciting when you came up because
doing
it was
crazy
like,
things.
oh, I did it.
Doing crazy things doesn't really excite me. Like, I don't think I'll ever want to like skydive or cliff.
I like
jump or-
doing exciting things that I can at least halfway control. I can't control
Skydiving?
anything when I'm in the air.
Skydiving sounds so fun but terrifying.
Bruh.
Yeah, that's exactly what
You
it's
think
like.
you'd ever skydive, Levi?
If I had a professional
if
on
that
my
guy would, like,
back,
strap
I
you in,
think
yeah.
so. I think if I had someone to convince me, I would.
Yeah, that's what I'm
It'd
saying.
be
That was
so
the same
fun,
thing.
because you'd be able to see everything from the sky, and you'd have a professional, so you'd know you're safe.
But
Ish.
again, it's back to like I said. There's a variable that I can't control, and it's if a parachute's gonna deploy or not.
That's why they have 2 parachutes.
Yeah, you have double parachute.
Yeah, and they
And
can
if you
both
do it with a
fail
bunch of
or get
friends,
tangled
then
around
you
with
get
you,
saved.
or I mean, there's just a lot of variables that I don't enjoy variables. unless I can
Both in
semi-control
life
them.
and in mathematics.
Yeah, unless I can control them slightly. Like when I'm driving a car, there's not very many variables I can't control other than
the
a deer, but I
Mm.
can slow down for that.
Nope, I just hit him.
And if it does hit me, it's not my fault. If I can control everything and not make
That's
it
not
my
what
fault,
the
then I'm
insurance
okay.
thinks.
Well, okay, fair enough, I guess. But
And that's really whose opinion matters.
What if you had a
Insurance is gonna
dash
make
cam?
you pay your deductible.
What if you had a dash cam?
I don't think insurance cares.
yeah, it will
It
Well,
might.
maybe
help you in an accident. Maybe
maybe
not
you
a
have
deer,
to pay the
but
deductible anytime though. But I feel like if it's like hail damage, you don't have to. That's like insurance
it
covers
just
that.
depends on your insurance.
But maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong.
Anyway.
On that. I don't know. I don't like to get involved with insurance because they kind of suck. But I would like to stay insured.
He does
If
insurance
any of us are
fraud.
watching.
That's all I got.
That's all he's got. I don't know
Let's
what
see.
time we
That's
were at because I don't remember.
we
what the first
started
one was at.
with at
We
6. I looked 6 minutes on the recording. So then where did we stop it in the middle?
Well, I think we started a little after 2, so I think we're about at that.
I think we are. I think we're
50,
about there. I don't know
45,
how close we
somewhere
are to
there.
there,
I
but
think we're
it can be
probably-
a short
I
episode.
think we're closer to 30 than we are to an hour.
I think we're
That's
chilling.
okay with
No,
me.
I think we're closer to 45 than we are 30. Is what I'm saying.
Really?
Yes,
I think
for
we might be
sure.
right in the middle.
Because I think when we
I bet we're
started
at
at
40
6, we got to
6.
like 29,
Let's take a bet. Right
and
now.
so now we're at 20 again. So that's 40.
How long does your guys' little bar
if
say?
I'm watching this in the recording booth,
Ben's
keep
gonna
in mind we
chop.
have the intros.
Ben's gonna chop the
but
crap out of
I'm
his head
watching this in
shoulder.
the intro booth. I'm gonna tell us who was closest, and I'm thinking, which I've been wrong before, but I'm thinking we're at like 37.
It's 40.
Mm,
It's at 44.
Dude, that's
minutes
literally
right
what I was
now.
saying.
I'm thinking 37.
Yeah, I think we're at like 39.
Nope, we're at 44.
44. Okay, we'll see.
No, we started at 6. We stopped it with.
I'll try to let you
So
guys
there's
know.
36. So you're gonna cut this. Is this cut counting the cut 6-minute beginning?
No, sometimes they're not that long.
I know what I know. I'm saying I know what that was though. Are you counting
yeah,
the?
It's gonna cut out.
So
the
this
thing.
is gonna be final cut where we're at right now.
Yeah.
Okay, we are at 42 minutes and 30 seconds. Nope,
Still
27 seconds.
By now we're at 45. But
Well, I will try to see who is closest when I edit this, and I'll text us to know, and then you guys can see. You guys have your guesses. If you haven't seen it, look, give your guesses where we're at right now, and then check it. check it
I mean,
for
they're
yourself.
gonna know when they started.
And then I would say comment if you were right, but they'll just all lie.
wait a minute.
I was right.
Comment out
Dang.
of us who you think was right.
We haven't made a single subscriber in the last 2 days.
Hey, if you're watching this, subscribe.
Yeah.
That's on you guys.
Yeah, what the heck is wrong with you guys?
We have the
Share it
views.
with your friends. It's not hard.
Yeah, there's a little button for it.
Anyways, like, comment, and subscribe as we just said. Hit the bell. Rate us. Like we said, the last episode we're on Apple and Spotify. You can rate us.
Yep, you can.
If you don't
Give us
want to
stars. 5
subscribe or
stars.
anything. Or if you hated us, give us 4 stars and tell us why. Don't just give us a star and tell us. And
Yeah,
not
you can
tell
also
us
leave
why.
comments. You can comment on Spotify.
Yeah.
Which I didn't, which it seems cool. So
If you
we haven't
want-
we have
if
not
you wanna-
gotten a Spotify comment. So if you want to be our first Spotify comment, on an
And
episode,
if you
watch
want
an
to
episode,
rate
comment.
us, if you want to rate us bad, go ahead. I like criticism.
But
But tell us why. Don't just
Yeah.
rate us bad because you're in a grumpy.
yeah,
woke
rate
up on
us
the wrong
and then
side of the bed.
comment and say I rated 1 star because XYZ.
Like the Grinch.
Were we going to comment on that one comment? Say anything about it?
Our
Or
room
did you
smelling
comment
like
to it?
mayo.
Which one? The one that.
That room
Which
probably smells like hat, sweat, and mayo.
All right, we can comment on that one. No, it doesn't. It smells like a cold basement.
Yeah, it smells like a cold basement. It doesn't really even have that much of a smell.
Nobody's lived down here ever until I renovated.
It
and
smells
did
like air. That's what it smells
it.
like.
It smelled like paint for a little
It
bit.
might be a little musty, but
What?
it's a basement.
What? It's not
What?
musty.
It's like humid.
The water is all in that room.
I know that seems.
It's
humid.
not humid.
Maybe I'm close.
It's not humid at all. It's really dry, actually. I got bloody noses when it was cold. I'm just saying.
Is that how you can tell?
Yeah, pretty much.
He's got,
I need to get a
he's
water
got
bottle
his
that I can-
humidity radar. He's like, oh, my nose is bleeding again. It was not me.
And I don't know where they got mayo from. If anything, it smelled like pizza. I hate mayo.
What video was that on?
Was Logan? Did Logan say something stupid?
Logan's elephant noises.
Yeah. Okay.
That's where the mayo came from. We didn't even talk about food.
He said that room probably smells like hat, sweat, and mayo.
There might be a little bit of hat sweat in my cabinet because I keep old hats in there, but it's in the cabinet.
Yeah, so not accurate. That statement is false.
Comment again. We'll tell you if it's wrong or right.
Hey, feel free to anyone comment. So someone was saying, "Oh, you don't respond to comments. Comment something funny or comment a question, and we'll talk about it."
How are we
here
supposed to?
on the podcast?
How are we supposed to respond to a comment that says?
That's a good comment.
Exactly. Nothing.
We can't respond.
Nothing.
You guys got to comment if you want a response. You got to comment something of some substance. But we do appreciate all the comments.
Yep.
No
And rate us. Hope you all have a blessed day. We'll see you next week.
Merry Christmas.
Deuces. Not yet.
That's close.
Bro's at least 10% elephant.